Are you guys ready? Are you guys bored of Raw tonight? Come on right in. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. We are live for the 7th of my retro live reactions. We have just this one, then 2 more weeks after this until we get to WrestleMania 38. So 2 more retro live reactions. And again, these last few are ones that I picked out personally, that I wanted to do personally. How could I not go the last one, which I did that one Saturday night, it was late, but, I'm going to try to get this one out of the way with this week. That way I don't have to worry about the rest of the week. We got Anthony Manzano, #mob, saying hi, what's up? I think you joined me once before, but good to see you back. But I was very excited about the one I did on Saturday, which was the end of an era Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and The Undertaker. Of course, this one, oh boy, I know it's not the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, but to me, it's one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time. A moment personally for me as a late bloomer wrestling fan that I was super excited about. WrestleMania 30 is still to this day one of my favorite shows to watch, especially since I always say the wrestler who caught my attention and made me get into wrestling is, of course, the man who won this match, Daniel Bryan. The man who performed the Miracle on Bourbon Street. So if I'm going to do these retro live reactions for WrestleMania, how do I not pass up on doing this one? How do I not? So we're going to, of course, do the entrances, of course, as well. And we're going to watch and live react to the main event of WrestleMania 30. The triple threat WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between the champion, Randy Orton, against the 2014 Royal Rumble match winner, Batista, versus the man who had to beat Triple H in the opening match. That's another match I should do sometime for live reactions. But against the man who had to beat Triple H to get into this match, Daniel Bryan. Can Daniel Bryan do the impossible with him already beat up from the assault from Triple H after the match earlier on tonight in the show? Will he be able to, get past, the authorities' roadblocks thrown at him again? And, of course, the authorities' favorites, the match they wanted to see, Randy Orton and Triple H. Not that the authority wanted to see, but the match Vince wanted to see. This is the year that things just changed for wrestling, period. CM Punk walked out after the Royal Rumble 2014, and, of course, nobody wanted to see Randy Orton and Batista. So how on earth were they going to be able to have this show end on a good note without the crowd being pissed off? Well, years later it shows that they don't care at times either, but this is one night where the WWE did listen to their fans. Let's watch.
And we're ready for our WWE World Championship match.
And Randy Orton did have a special entrance, I forgot about that. He actually had a band playing his song. Randy Orton, of course, would win the WWE Championship when he cashed in on Daniel Bryan back at SummerSlam 2013, which was the night that I got hooked on wrestling. After watching it just as a casual fan of my friends here and there, that SummerSlam 2013 was the show that made me intrigued by wrestling. It's all because I wanted to see Daniel Bryan get his revenge, get his comeuppance, and it was just absolutely glorious of a story to watch. Of course, Bryan would beat Randy Orton at Night of Champions a month later, but he was stripped from the title due to a fast tap. So he had a rematch against Orton at Battleground, but that ended in no contest because of the Big Show. And then Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. It still did not work, and Bryan was not able to reclaim the title after a feud with Bray Wyatt with an excellent match at Royal Rumble in 2014 that opened the show. Freaking awesome match. Bryan was able to find his way, work through it, and just push the authority. Remember the hashtag Occupy Raw segment, and he made the deal. If he could beat Triple H, the man who's been the mastermind behind holding him back from being in the main event of for being the world champion, for being the face of the WWE, because Daniel Bryan at this time being the face of the WWE was what was best for business. He had to take him out first, And if he won, he gets added to this triple threat match. Because we had a voice. And of course, they had brought back Batista at the beginning of the year, hoping to get this like big babyface reaction. Even Batista said, "Yeah, it's only going to last about 30 seconds." the backlash that they got from him winning the Rumble, oh boy. But at least they used that to turn Batista heel and have this work out. Again, as I said, one of my favorite nights in wrestling. Of course, as we always say, originally this card was supposed to feature Batista and Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan was supposed to take on a newly heel-turned Sheamus. CM Punk, if he did not quit, would have taken on Triple H. Could you imagine that card on top of the of John Cena beating Bray Wyatt, which, excellent match, but wrong person went over, of course. Could you imagine, though, all of that, and The Undertaker losing his streak? This could have been one of the saddest WrestleManias of all time if it was not for Daniel Bryan. But I'm just ready to salvage in the moment and be able to watch one of this match again. That again was probably one of my favorite matches of all time. Again, I will say it definitely wasn't the. I'd say it was. I would definitely probably put this match in my top 25 for best WrestleMania matches of all time. I definitely don't think it is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, but it's still is one of my favorite wrestling moments as a wrestling fan. I was so excited and happy when this happened. So of course Orton's out here. And here's Batista, of course, who's being called Bootista with all this. Even Bryan mentioned this in his documentary. Of course, he was back to win the Royal Rumble. He's back to headline WrestleMania, and he's back to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Unfortunately, it did not work out too well. And of course, Batista would stick around to team with the Reform Evolution. They feuded with the Shield, and then he disappeared. And then he came back in 2019 to have one last match with Triple H to put him over for all he's done. And yes, everybody says so. I do agree. Batista was not in good shape at all. No pyro either. Wow. Forgot he had no pyro in his entrance at WrestleMania. Uh-oh. Balding Dave is looking out to the crowd. Of course, he grew hair back pretty quickly before he left and did his little exit. And of course, that is right. Oh, of course, in front, there's the Undertaker fan who got who's known for that GIF for his one of the first reactions caught on camera whenever Undertaker lost his streak. And of course, this was the first WrestleMania also to be live on the WWE Network. That was beat to death. Remember $9.99, $9.99, $9.99? Get ready for the crowd to explode. Here he is! Still can do it, even though he's not in the company anymore. He, of course, is coming out with one bad arm. As Triple H did do the damage to that left arm. But he was ready to do it. Hang on. Wait till he starts doing it. He's only have one arm to do it, but he's going to do it. Yes! 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 Although 5 years later, when I did attend my first WrestleMania live in person, I was rooting against Daniel Bryan. As probably my next big favorite WrestleMania moment that I have seen personally live since I started watching wrestling, was definitely Kofi Mania for sure. Which that was an amazing moment there as well. What else was I going to say here? But definitely, of course. Oh yeah, and also another positive I love about this WrestleMania: Cesaro winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Unfortunately, though, that's when they still didn't capitalize, and now Cesaro has gone bye-bye, and he is free to do whatever he wants. And of course, Stephanie McMahon gets this just bitch slap anyone, and no one gets a compass until Brie Bella tried to do that summer, but unfortunately Nikki turned on her, and yeah, that was just the whole thing of like, okay, the good guys may have won the battle, but who really lost the war? Because right after this was when Daniel Bryan, basically went on that bad trend for him before he had to retire in 2016, but came back 2 years later. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so ready to watch this match again. This brings back so many memories during Justin Roberts in a WWE ring again. Crowd's hollering. And remember also, one person who was not there at the time for this match was Vince McMahon. And of course, if Vince was on the microphone, we would not have heard the impressive call we heard when this match ended. We would have probably gotten something very stupid, just like whenever Michael Cole went, "The streak is over," very very bland like. But Triple H, of course, was on the headset, and if it wasn't for that, Michael Cole would not have had one of the best calls of his career. But of course, we do see Justin Roberts in AEW, but still, just having Justin Roberts introduced in WWE again, which just brings back a lot of memories of when I first started watching wrestling. All right, we're just about to get started with this match. Are you guys ready? Because I am. Here it goes. $9.99. Oh crap! It's forgot. Peacock is still playing commercials. Hopefully it's the only one. I'm sorry, guys. Cut. So just get warmed up here. I guess this is the way of telling me to warm up. Get ready to have my energy just popping for this match, as I cannot wait. Yes, chance. All the other craziness is going to happen in this match, and how crazy I'm going to go whenever Daniel Bryan gets the victory. Of course, I will nitpick Bryan about one thing, though, at the end of this match, that Batista actually mentioned in the podcast, that we will talk about. I will talk about very briefly as well. But other than that, I think that's also might have been another reason why this match may not be the best Wrestlemania match of all time, because of this. That should be it. There may be one more commercial cut, which of course may ruin the effect, but what can I do? But here we go. Bell's being rang. Bryan goes right in the corner and just does a baseball slide on Orton. Now Batista is setting up Bryan immediately for the Batista Bomb. He's got Bryan up. Bryan has Hurricanrana, sends Batista out of the ring. Bryan, of course, got that left arm and shoulder heavily taped, doing the yes kicks. Yes, 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 yes. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton had a rivalry going back for a whole year. Tugs on the bad arm of Bryan. Going back to when they were Team RK-No briefly. They had a great match on Raw whenever they were telling a story about how Bryan proved he was not the weak link of Team Hell No. Now Orton and Batista are going at it now. Batista takes down Orton as Orton stepped on the arm of Bryan. Bryan rolled out. So Batista driving the shoulder into the gut of Randy Orton. Of course, these two have history together as well, being Evolution team partners and being bitter rivals as well, especially in the late 2000s. Batista's up. Orton's got him behind now. He's trying to do there's a backbreaker there, but Bryan's climbing up onto the apron. Bryan, who's been the thorn in the side of Randy Orton, who just will not go away because we wanted to see him on top, and the authorities doing everything they can to prevent that. Batista just took them both off the apron. Again, no countouts, no disqualifications. Anything goes in a triple threat match. And now, of course, Batista just slams Orton on his ass on the apron. Wait a minute, that's an old my old incident. Not really, no. That's before was not. I mean, not Jack Stevens developmental yet. Who knows? But Batista just slammed Orton face first off of the announce desk. One of the announce desks. And he just chucks Orton into the barricade. Everybody's chanting Batista. Now Orton and Batista are brawling on the side with headbutts and punches to the gut. Another headbutt by Orton. An uppercut by Orton onto Batista. And he reverses him now. Orton reverses him, and Batista sends Orton into the steel steps. Viciousness from the animal onto the Viper. And then, of course, Batista slams Orton face first off the steel steps. Now he's pulling off the steps. Oh, he just tossed him to the side. Is he leaving the big steps open for something? Orton's still down, but Batista's going back to pick up the big steps. No, he's moved it back a little bit. Okay. Uh-oh. He's got Orton set for a Batista bomb on the steps, and no, Orton reverses it, throws him over his shoulders, and Batista lands back first on top of the steel steps. Ouch. Now the Viper is in range. Now he's screwed Batista. Now he's going back over to get Bryan. Again, had the year-long rivalry with Bryan. Throws Bryan into the shoulder first, the bad shoulder first, into the barricade. Now he's gonna drop him again on top of the barricade on the bad shoulder. Now he takes Bryan, weakens Bryan. Now Batista's getting back up. Batista's getting back up now, and Orton go back over to show Batista. He's doing the same thing. Slam Batista, shoulder first off the barricade. Randy Orton's in a little bit of a groove here right now, folks. At the time, probably had some of the biggest heat on the company. Posing as the Viper. Which, of course, at this time I brutally despised. Because I wanted Daniel Bryan up on top. Batista's tossed back into the ring fight by Orton. Bryan's still outside the ring with that hurt shoulder. Orton goes to cover. Kicks out at 2. Well, Batista kicks out at 2. Now Orton is working on the feet, smashing the ankles of Batista. Boo-tista. Or, of course, Blue-tista before he left. And now they stomped on the hands. Now he's just pushing the ear. He's hearing them voices. Is he getting ready? Maybe start thinking about the RKO here. Drops a knee on the face of Batista. He'll recover. 1, 2. Batista kicks out. Funny though, if Bryan wasn't going to be in this match, I would have rather had Batista win it. But Bryan with a drop kick from the top rope takes them both out. Bryan to land on the bad shoulder. He's trying to get back in there, energize them, get the crowd back into it. Obviously, they were tired. They had a heartbreaking moment with The Undertaker losing, which is why Vince McMahon left, because Undertaker suffered a concussion. Yes, kicked out to Orton. To Batista. To Orton. Batista. Orton. Batista. Orton. Batista. Going crazy with them yes kicks. He goes for it. He gets Batista on the side of the head. Now to Orton. But Orton catches Bryan. Now he's got him down. Suplex him over him. 1, 2. Batista breaks the pinfall. Breaks up the pinfall. Now Orton and Batista are going at it. Picks him up. He's going for a power slam. He hits on Orton. 1, 2. Bryan breaks up the pin. And now, of course, Batista's going to town on Bryan in the corner. We all know, of course, by this point, though, that Bryan is able to beat Orton. He's done it how many times whenever he was able to overcome the Authority. Now, can he do it, though, when it actually counts? And can he actually also beat Batista? Well, Bryan takes Batista down, and Batista goes head first to the middle turnbuckle. Ouch. Bryan set him up with a double drop kick on the Orton. And one to Batista. Back to Orton. Doing the baseball slides. Now to Batista. Bryan is running like a madman. Another one. I also will not forget when Daniel Bryan beat the crap out of Bray Wyatt inside that steel cage in January 2014. One of the loudest crowd pops I've also heard at the time, which was an excellent segment. Now Bryan's setting up Orton for a Hurricanrana. Does so. Sends Orton halfway across the ring. For a pinfall. 2. Orton kicks out though at like 2.5. Yes, number one trend worldwide at the time was The Undertaker losing. But of course, again, Vince McMahon had to go to the hospital to care for Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, who suffered a concussion in his match with Brock Lesnar. Oh, Batista goes to suplex Bryan over. He just tosses him over his shoulder and out of the ring. Bryan is laying out on the outside mat. Everything that Bryan had been through, of course, was all coming back to him now. Orton and Batista are brawling now inside the ring. Well, Batista's still on the top rope. Orton's climbing up now to try to meet him there. Suplex him. Gets him up. Top rope. There's a couple blows to the gut. There's another one. Couple to the back. Headbutts. From Orton to Batista. Getting ready to pick him up. A suplex, and there he goes. Batista's down. Bryan goes up on top now. Diving headbutt onto Orton. Bryan came out of nowhere there. I didn't even see him there. But now Bryan's putting Orton into the yes lock. Bryan did get Orton to tap to that in that street fight they had in June of 2013. Uh-oh! But wait a minute, of course. This is where they know stuff's going to happen. So here comes Triple H. Here comes Stephanie McMahon, the Authority. And who's that with them? Who's that with them? Triple H just pulls the referee out of the ring like, nope, not going to happen. Just like he just thinks he owns the business. And there's the billion-dollar princess with that smug look on her face. And now Stephanie's looking at Bryan. I remember I was hoping CM Punk would have came out with this. I was so hoping that would have happened. Uh-oh. Bryan is staring down Triple H. Stephanie's in there also. Oh, Batista got him up. Slams him down with a spine buster. There's Triple H motioning. Oh, who is it? It's that crooked referee, Scott Armstrong. The man who screwed Bryan out of his match at Night of Champions. Slammed Bryan for a fast tap. Batista's going for a Batista bomb on Bryan with Armstrong in there as referee. 1, 2. Bryan kicks out. Triple H is desperate to keep Bryan down here. And of course we have to go to a 45-second commercial break. Just when things are getting juicy, but this should be the last one. But yeah, Scott Armstrong was the referee, who was the referee when Bryan won the title back at Night of Champions in 2013. But he did a fast tap, and Scott Armstrong, being the crooked referee he was, accused Bryan of actually being the one to bribe him to do the fast tap, which was not true. That's why Triple H and Stephanie McMahon brought him out, hoping that he would, he knew that they would do the bidding. Of course, Scott Armstrong would also appear in the Survivor Series match later on that year, trying to be the crooked referee that help the Authority win the Survivor Series match, which I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan was supposed to be the captain for that team. But we are back. And then the S movement's getting even stronger now. It's going to drive the Authority more nuts. Wrestlemania is in full effect. Now Batista's setting up Bryan again. Bryan dodged Batista. Batista goes shoulder first into the ring post. But Armstrong went after Bryan, and Bryan just kicks Armstrong in the head. Triple H tells him to go after him. Oh, here's one of the best shots right here. Bryan's getting ready to get back up. Triple H, Scott Armstrong, Stephanie McMahon is right there. The $1 billion princess is about to get her comeuppance. Because here goes Bryan with a suicide dive to take out all three, including Stephanie McMahon, that $1 billion princess who thinks she has everything in the palm of her hands. Unfortunately, this is let Bryan finally able to give her comeuppance, and that takes them out of the equation. Of course, like I said, when it happened, I first remembered I was trying to, oh no, wait, no, not Triple H. Triple H is still good. He's reached underneath the ring. I think he's going for the sledgehammer, maybe? He is, yes. The King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, has the sledgehammer. This is his last shot, trying to take out Bryan with that sledgehammer. But, oh, Bryan kicks Triple H in the gut, and he drops the sledgehammer. Bryan's got the sledgehammer now, and Triple H is still lingering on the apron. BAM! Takes out Triple H with a blow to the head with a sledgehammer. That son of a bitch got what he deserved. And now Batista's rolling up. The referee who was originally in the match came back in, but Orton breaks up the count there. And now Randy Orton's gone nuts. So is Batista, but Orton has tossed Bryan outside the ring. Orton has had enough of this fairy tale story, and he's just going to town on Daniel Bryan. Rolling up the elbows right outside the ring. Slams him bad shoulder to the barricade again. And he's just going to town, just teeing off on him with the kicks and the elbows. The Authority has had enough. They're trying to do whatever they can to get Bryan down. Now him and Batista are coming full circle here. Batista's helping take out Bryan. They're exposing the bad shoulder of Bryan, taking off all the bandages. And the two of them are attacking him viciously. Can these people get any more sick to keep out the man that everybody wants on top, that everybody knows to be on top, that they're doing, the Authority's doing whatever they can to take them out? Now, of course, the three of them, amigos, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Scott Armstrong are being taken back, being helped up after the attack, after Bryan takes them down. Uh-oh, now Orton with the steel snaps into the bad shoulder of Bryan. Of course, the crowd's going, hey, nah, 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 hey, hey, goodbye, but to Triple H, Stephanie, and Scott. Well, now Batista and Orton seem to be discussing a plan. They're coexisting. Uh-oh, they are ripping apart the announce tables, taking off the monitors. So that they're working together. They wanted to make the match that they believe should have been the case. Orton and Batista for the title. A match that nobody wanted. But Bryan is still down. Orton and Batista are now going to be double teaming on Bryan. This does not look good. Bryan, you may want to run. No. 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 No! Batista with the monitor to Bryan's face. Bryan's down again. And Batista's getting the heavy boos. Orton has set up the steel steps. I guess they need, even though they're both like 6'5", they need steps, I guess, to get up to the up onto the tables. Now Bryan's being laid out on the table. And they're not ashamed for CM Punk. Another spot I thought CM Punk was going to come out to save Bryan, but not happening. His suspension was 1 day away from being over. But Batista set up for a Batista bomb. Orton's climbing up onto the other end of the table. This is not going to be good. Batista's got Bryan up. Batista bombs the RKO, and Bryan is through the table. That's got to be it for Daniel Bryan. He's got to be not coming back from this. Bryan's now just twitching and whatnot. Remember, he had the bad neck at this time too. Oh man. What a vicious double team there. With a Batista bomb into an RKO. Of course, that RKO would be topped off a year later at WrestleMania 31 when Orton hits Seth Rollins, countering a curb stomp into an RKO. But man, what a nice, that was a very, very nice spot there with Batista and Orton double teaming Bryan and hitting that Batista bomb to an RKO through the announce table, which looked to be the last glimmer of hope for Daniel Bryan. We all thought it was over. And it's true, we all thought it was over. Of course, now that Bryan seems to be out of the equation, now Orton and Batista gotta settle it. And of course, the crowd is just continuing to chant for Daniel Bryan. trying to will him back on to get him back into the match. With Batista, Orton has a little bit of blood on his back. Yeah, and the medics and whatnot are looking on, checking on Bryan. Here comes a stretcher. It doesn't look good. And you know what? It was very well convincing. It looked like Daniel Bryan was indeed done with that RKO, with the Batista bomb to the RKO. Yep, here comes the stretcher, but no one was paying attention to Orton Batista. The eyes were just on Daniel Bryan. So now, Batista and Orton are starting to just get out of the way. But now Batista, of course, now there's no more alliances. Batista takes Orton down with a clothesline. That's true. Batista, they could have just pulled Bryan back into the ring to try to cover him at that point. Oh, now Batista drives Orton into the barricade with his shoulder. Oh! Orton goes into the steel post. But once again, nobody's paying attention to those two. They're only paying attention to Daniel Bryan, who has a neck brace and is being stabilized on the stretcher. Orton and Batista are brawling, just slamming each other onto the apron. And again, they go into the barricade once again for the millionth time in this match. There's been a lot of people go through getting their shoulder slammed to a barricade in this match. Now Orton's fighting back now with some blows to Orton, but then nope, a knockout blow to the face. Well, not knockout, but blow to the face of Orton from Batista. And of course, Daniel Bryan's getting carted out on the stretcher. Everybody's just chanting Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. Hope Wolf seems lost right now for Bryan. Did he hit his head off the monitor? I never remembered that. But Orton went to go for the DDT, but didn't happen. Batista counter and toss Orton all the way over the top rope. And now he pulls him out. Randy's not going to have the fight here. He's set up for that DDT again. Spike DDT onto the floor. Now both men are on the floor. Both Orton and Batista. Everybody's chanting for Bryan, so no one's paying attention. But wait a minute. Bryan is coming back to consciousness. He's pushing the bags out of the way. He wants back in the match. Orton stands over. Bryan can't believe it. Bryan fell off the stretcher, but he's like, get out of my way. I want this. He wants this. The crowd is firing up now. And Randy Orton just cannot believe that Daniel Bryan won't stop. He just won't stop. Now Orton's got Bryan slams him shoulder first. That's the not so bad shoulder into the ropes. But Bryan still looks very faded. But Orton is still not going to stop. It's his obsession with trying to get Bryan. Well, the Orton's obsession with trying to keep Bryan out of the top spot. Daniel Bryan himself just broke himself free from the stretcher to get back into this match. Get the chance going. Yes! 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 But now Bryan's laying there in the ring. Orton is hearing them voices, taunting the crowd. About to set the Wrestlemania dream to a close here. They thought they did before, but not quite. But no one's acknowledging Orton's the voices. Here he goes. He starts pounding it. He's setting up, lining up Bryan for that RKO. Goes for the RKO, but nope. Bryan's now taking down Batista with the armbar. He's got him rolled in. He's trying to get him locked in with the with the yes lock. He's got the yes lock on Orton. Is Orton going to tap out again? We all know Bryan can get Orton to tap out here. Come on, Bryan. Come on, Bryan. Tap, you son of a bitch. Tap, Orton. Tap, Orton, you son of a gun. You're going to tap. But no, Batista gets in there and breaks it up. Batista gets in and breaks up the submission. Now Bryan's trying to take down Batista. He's now trying to get Batista into the yes lock. Does he got it in? He's got it covered in the eyes of Batista. And Batista's going to tap now. Is Bryan going to get Batista to tap here? Now Orton is back up. He's grabbing the hair of Bryan. Now he's going to grab him, and he's going to just toss him to the side, just like he's like, get out of here, I had enough of you. That's what basically Orton's saying there. Now Orton's going after Batista again. Slamming Batista into the corner. Now he's going with some uppercuts on Batista in the corner. Blows to the face. And both of these men have got to be pissed because Orton has had enough of this. The Authority in general has. Orton looks back and makes sure. Now Orton's going to line up Batista for the RKO. Is he paying attention? Oh, he goes for the RKO, but Batista blocks it and pushes Orton off. Uh-oh. Batista goes for a spear, but he misses. Oh, no! Batista does a spear, goes shoulder first, right into the face of Bryan. RKO on Batista! Oh, no! Oh, no! 1, no, 2, no, no, no! Batista kicked out of the freaking RKO! Whoo! Tell you what, I noticed this retro, but that was a very good near fall. When every time it looks like Bryan's getting back in, he gets taken out again. Oh boy, oh boy. If this was like 8 years ago, my adrenaline would be really going again. I mean, of course, that was retros. I know what's gonna be happening, but man, getting the energy back in. But boy, again, ever since that commercial break when the Authority came out, boy, did the match really pick up. The story there is crazy. Everything that Bryan's been through was thrown back at him again one last time. He overcame everything. Now he's got to overcome it one more time. Uh-oh, Batista's slaying there. Orton is setting up the punt. He set up a punt. It was a kick that actually put Batista on the shelf. Back does it. No, Bryan with the running knee to take out Orton. Bryan takes out Bryan with the running knee. It takes out Orton with the flying knee. Batista tosses him out. I was like, what the heck? 1, 2. Batista went for a pinfall victory, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. Bryan hit the running knee on Orton, and then Batista tossed Bryan out of the way, trying to steal the victory there, but it did not work. Now Batista's getting Orton. He's trying to set him up for a Batista bomb. Orton dodged the spear with a leapfrog. Now Batista's got Orton up. Batista bomb! Is that going to be enough now? But Bryan's back in! He hits the flying knee on Batista! Orton rolls out! Knee Batista! He's getting Batista in now with the yes lock! He's got to twerk again! He's got to twerk again! Tap Batista! Tap Batista! Tap Batista! He's popping the veins out of your skull! Tap! He tapped! And he tapped! He did it! He did it! He did it! The miracle kid! The miracle on Bourbon Street! Couldn't wait to say that again! Your winner and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Bryan. The impossible has come reality. The amazing calls from Michael Cole this moment even told Bryan one of the best calls of his career. And why? Because who was in his ear? Not Vince McMahon. Triple H. I tried to get back into it again big time, and I did. Of course, you see the Undertaker fan again, who were known with the GIF. And this indeed was Mania. Now Bryan's going to stand up on top of the ring as Batista and Orton or to sit there in disbelief, cannot believe in it. But it all came true. It all happened. Of course, the one thing that I will agree with Batista about, the moment Bryan won the title, he did stop selling his injuries. Which I do agree. Bryan should have still kept selling it in some sort of a way. Of course, Bryan also, though, got to celebrate his moment with his family. He also got to support them with Connor, who would unfortunately die from his terminal illness 2 weeks after this. But of course, Connor, who started Connor's Cure, was probably one of the biggest Daniel Bryan fans, which, I always say I'm Daniel Bryan's biggest fan. I'm not going to take that away from Connor, of course, out of respect. And Bryan got to, of course, bring his niece into the ring. His sister was there. And, of course, in 1 week from here she comes. Here comes his niece. What a moment. What a moment. There's his sister. His mom, of course, was outside the ring somewhere, but just an incredible moment, an incredible night. And like I said, too, this had to wake up a crowd that obviously was facing The Undertaker's first defeat at WrestleMania. And yes, that is true. I just kind of wish Bryan would have gotten some way to be able to finish them off. Well, they kind of did with Survivor Series, and him coming out the following night on Raw and being the general manager for the night, and basically giving all the Authority members their comeuppance. So, I'll give it that. I take back what I said earlier, where it felt like, the Authority still technically won the war, even though Bryan won the battle, but just an incredible moment, an incredible story. I always like how Bryan, basically had all of his obstacles thrown back in and won last time. That moment where the Authority came out trying to stop him again. And of course, that great spot with Orton taking out and Batista taking him out through the table was spot on. And I do like also that he got Batista to tap in this match. To me, it's like, yes, if you would have got Orton, it's like, that was there's Connor right there. Rest of your soul, Connor. Like I said, if he would have gotten Orton tap out Orton, or gotten Orton pinned Orton, it would have been like, we already knew he could do that. But at least he pinned Batista, someone who he had not been able to beat yet. So they may have had one or two run-ins on Raw between two of them, and he never was able to beat them. But yes, dreams do come true. And as Daniel Bryan says, fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you. He said that in his speech after he got cleared. Again, it's sad to know that 2 weeks later, everything else just fell apart for him with his neck injury, his father dying, and the death of Connor. Having to retire 2 years later, but he was able to get it all back. And moments like this, and even, of course, his story of coming back, is why I consider Daniel Bryan to be a hero. Yes, indeed. This was Wrestlemania. WrestleMania, one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. Did anybody else join us in the live chat? Nope, we got 3 likes on it, so thank you to those who did stop by for the likes. But I am going to record probably a couple more videos tonight. Definitely one, most of them baseball, but definitely one that will definitely have to be about Scott Hall, though, who passed away today as well. I will definitely try to do a video on that. We'll see which ones I do get done tonight, but just as always, guys, stay tuned for more content on my channel. We have 2 more WrestleMania retro live reaction videos to do before we get to WrestleMania 38. So, guys, once again, thank you for joining me live for the Triple Threat. Hold on, thank you again for joining me live for another retro WrestleMania live reaction, as it was the Triple Threat main event of WrestleMania 30 between Randy Orton, Batista, and Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Guys, what were your thoughts on this match? Was this one of your favorite WrestleMania moments of all time? You think Bryan winning was the proper outcome? Leave your thoughts as always down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content to my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirBoy93. So guys, I'll check it out. I'll catch y'all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.